The Red Devil. Basically got all the parts on. I did omit a couple little small little parts that doesn't affect the overall appearance of it. I got the pilot put together, and the only thing I really lack is clear parts. That's like some of the little nav lights and the little thing that goes on top of the fuselage there, which is that. And I'm basically pretty much done assembling. I was going to leave off the missiles for shipping purposes, because that's usually one thing that usually gets broke when you build planes with bombs and everything attached to models. But actually they're on there pretty sturdy, so I am going to leave them on, and I'm going to reinforce everything in just a few minutes. Went with the Sparrow missile on this side, and it's fully armed, ready to go. I was going to leave the tail fins off too for shipping, but actually they're actually on there really sturdy and tight, so I want to go back in with my MEK, and I'm going to go in strengthen up the joints and everything, and just basically give it a bath of glue, and then let it sit for a day, and then I will be ready to primer and paint it. And then once I get the cockpit painted, I get the canopy on, and then I can mask everything off and then start painting. But we are getting really close on that. One thing about the canopy, and I will explain that. Most large-scale canopies, if you can see it, has a seam. It goes all the way down the deal. I will not sand that out. I think it's actually it's really unnecessary. You really can't notice it unless you just point to it. And I don't want to screw up the canopy, because if I did, I'd have to make a new mold, make a vacuum form version of it. Then that's the easiest way to take care of the seam. If you want to do it, just vacuum form you a new one and put over it. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the stock canopy and everything, and once you get it painted, you'll never notice it. But that's where I stand on the Red Devils. Hopefully during the midweek video, I'll be able to show you all what it looks like in primer. The monogram SR71 72nd scale. Love the kit, just simple, easy to put together. I did get the cockpit in, got the seats. It's just a two-piece hole. I got them glued and clamped together. I had that done last night. We're doing in-flight mode, so I had to put in the landing bay doors. Got the I had to modify them just a tad. Basically, I had to cut off little locator pins and got them glued down. These should be a little more flush, but I'm not going to fight it. I'd actually have to like cut it, and so I just glued it up on top. You really can't notice it hardly at all, so, and it just fit better, so I went ahead and did that. Working on the canopy windows, and one thing I didn't do is I usually use crystal clear to put in windows, but these windows actually had a step kind of like that, and I just popped them in and then took a MEK and just ran capillary action around it, and they're good to go, and they are not moving or marred or any way like that. So once these dry later on, I will tape them off and then get them glued onto the canopy, and then start rocking and rolling on that. Very fun model, simple yet very fun. The X-Wing, last night I went in, or excuse me, yesterday, more red putty. I went all the way around and filled everything in, and I sanded it all smooth. That's the best I'm going to be able to get back here, which I'll probably just add some styrene strip just to hide some of the flaws of the putty marks, but that should cover that. And just to give a little extra detail, added some styrene strips on the inside of the wings, and I'll add a couple more, and that's pretty much about it. And then next up is the back here, which it really don't fit too well, so I'm taking a tulip and just filling it in. And once I shoot some primer on it, and I go back in and fill some more, because I will have to. There's the engine with the ABS epoxy sculpt. I re-sculpted it best I could. Not too shabby. And then once I get everything primered, I can go back in and add some styrene detail just to hide some gaps and everything that the kit has, but not too bad. Really enjoying it. Very, very fun model. Just a little bit at a time, and before you know it, you'll be done. The David. Started putting in the photo etch on it, and basically it's just the steering wheel. Got the prop on. I modified the steering wheel strut in there. I just used styrene strip, just made it easier. Didn't have to fight the photo etch and bend it and all that. So I just went ahead and cut some strip out, put the wheel in, and there you have that. Prop. One thing I did is I took some tree sprue from the tree, cut it, and just basically made a shaft and glued the propeller on, and then the end of the sprue just glued it on there. But I always like to use kit styrenes because it's just versatile. I mean, that's your styrene rod if you just want to get down to it, and it comes with every kit. All I'm down to is I got a primer one basically couple of times. I did add some styrene strip to the top here, and just to hide the I couldn't sand it, get it down flush better, so I just did some styrene strips just to hide some of the ugly, if you will. And then once I get it all primered, I can start painting. But if you can see, I got a couple of pinholes to do, and all I don't use putty. You don't really have to. I just use tulip. Use tulip. Get you a micro brush or a toothpick, and just fill it in. You can even use it with your finger and just fill in the little pinholes of resin. That's it, and you are good to go. So I just got to tidy up a couple things on the David, and then I can prime it, and then I can paint it. So that's what I got going on there. The Earth versus the Flying Saucers, I'm still working on that. I can't decide which shade of silver I want to go, but I will get to that. More on the monument during the week, but that's what I got going on today. And since it is Sunday, I'm having a little me time. My D3 base that I'm painting, I did get the grass painted, and I'm painting the brick wall or brick road here. So hopefully get a little bit done on that, and then decide what color of ribbon I want for my World War I plane there. And so that's what I got going on, painting the base. The Earth versus the Flying Saucer. We are on the final stretch of the David, working on the X-Wing, starting the SR-71 and the Red Devil. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.